What's up guys, my name is Doug. Welcome to the channel if you are new, welcome back if you are not new. Today we're going to be listening to Ari Lennox's new album, Shea Butter Baby. Now, I don't really know much about Ari Lennox as an artist, but from what I've heard in snippets, I know she's got a really wavy sound, her voice is awesome. I'm expecting some really pleasant, chill vibes from this project, some really cool lo-fi hip-hop I'm assuming, something to really just relax to and to vibe out to. You know, that's kind of what I'm expecting, but I'm also expecting to be very pleasantly surprised by this project since I don't know much about Ari Lennox and since I've never really listened to anything from her. So I'm really excited to be listening to this project from her. You know, I love discovering new artists and seeing what they have to bring to the table, and so I really don't have much to say in this introduction because, like I said, she's completely new to me, so that means that I'm not going to be wasting too much of your time with this intro. I'm switching up the camera angle today. I'm trying to get a different type of frame. A lot of you guys have mentioned that the background is a little hectic. Now, I don't really have in this room a very plain wall for me to sit in front of so that I can record these videos. So let me know if this is any better, if this makes a little more sense, if this is a little less chaotic in the background, because right now it really is kind of the best that I can do until I'm able to get, you know, a background to really create a better frame for you guys. I swear I'm working on it. I'm trying to get these videos to the best quality that I can. And speaking of getting these videos to a higher quality, if you would like to support this channel, you can consider subscribing to it, giving this video a like, sharing it with somebody, and definitely consider supporting this channel on Patreon so that I can make the quality of these videos a little better and to produce the content as often as I possibly can. I'd really appreciate your support in any one of those ways. So with all that being said, we're going to jump right into this project. This is Shea Butter Baby by Ari Lennox. The first track is Chicago Boy. Let's get it. This is what I'm talking about. Oh, let's go. You hear that bass line, man? Smooth keys. The horns are so soulful, man. Very soulful, very reminiscent, very old school vibe to this. I love it.
I need to know if you guys are really ready to be my friend, because it gets real, it gets gross, it gets...
Wow. Wow. What a way to set this project off, dude. Chicago Boy is soulful, it's fun, it's wavy, you know, it's mood setting, it's groovy and vulnerable and sensitive and sensual and everything warm and fuzzy and good about soulful music. You know, it's very reminiscent of artists like, you know, Marvin Gaye, people who created very soulful music, very romantic music, you know, very old school. I really enjoyed that. Someone modern to compare that sound to, I guess, would be Anderson .Paak. He can create vibes in that similar vein. You know, it's very, very awesome to listen to. I really enjoyed that track, man. You know, everything about it was just right. The keys, the guitars, the bass line, the really simple, very low-key drums. You know, just everything about that was really, really cool. I really like that. Next track is BMO, Break Me Off. Yeah. So I'm reading along to the lyrics as I always do, and it says here on Genius that this instrumental is actually Busta Rhymes' song from the 90s, and I personally, you know, I wasn't even really around until the late 90s, so I had never heard this instrumental before, but I was gonna say that it sounded like 90s R&B, 90s hip-hop. You know, it's got that kind of swing, that kind of sound to it. So even though I didn't recognize the actual instrumental, I was able to recognize the time period that it reminded me of, and it just so happened to actually be an instrumental from that time period. Another crazy vibe already. I love it. You the real one, I'm inspired.
when you touch me.
I love that main melody in the beat. So good. Very wavy, very soulful, you know, but that's her voice. The beat isn't necessarily soulful. It's got a really smooth hip hop vibe to it, a very cool R&B vibe to it, you know, very 90s. I mean, like I said before, even though I didn't recognize the instrumental, the time period is just, you can tell when it's from, you know, that style that it is. It's just instantly recognizable, and I love that about this song. I love the melodies that she sings. The harmonies during the chorus are tremendous. Her voice is so smooth, you know, honestly. Her riffs are great. This track has got a really fun vibe to it, you know. This is definitely one that you can blast in the car while you're riding around. You can sing this one with your friends. You can have a lot of fun to this song. So that's another really cool track. Next song is Broke. Oh, this one features Jid.
You know I've been get too young, that's fine. We trip on Antarctica, we ain't got no monies. I've been low.
Yo, these guitars are so nice. That main melody is so catchy. This is beautifully simple, man.
Broke boy, baby, ain't got no bread, they ain't got no cheese. I've been trying to fertilize your eggs, moisturize your head. Sitting there looking like something to eat. I've been broken, you've been broken, your heart been broken, I'm still broken. Me a overdose, so I could dodge your demons. Trying to choke my throat, her last man was litty, he had loads of dough. Didn't roll to death, I rise to die, I'm making life and taking life. I fuck a chick,
This flow is untouchable, man.
Take a go, let me dry the boat.
Let me dry the boat. The simplicity on this track is what stood out to me, you know. The beat is crazy simple. We've got the guitar, we've got the drums, we've got the bass line. That's really it. The tambourine keeping time, the really simple kick pattern, the snaps, that really cool smooth guitar loop, really. The bass line just to hold things down and give us a little bit of low end. And then even in her performance, she has no need for background vocals at all, man. It's just her doing her thing. It sounds really intimate since, again, there's no background vocals, it's just her. There are very few harmonies that she does on this track. It sounds so sincere and intimate and vulnerable and relatable, because they're talking about when they didn't have any money. And I mean, who can relate, right? Yeah, man, I love the simplicity on this track. I think that it's great. The fact that they were able to create such an awesome vibe with so little, you know? And of course Jid and his delivery, his flow, very reminiscent of Kendrick Lamar's flow on Goosebumps, very reminiscent of J. Cole's flow on, was it A Lot? Pretty sure it was A Lot, either A Lot or Middle Child. And those two artists are two very phenomenal artists to have your flow compared to. So yeah, that was just a really great feature, and let's see what they've got for us next. Next track is Up Late. Gotta love that 6/8 time signature, man. Oh, the horns. Oof. The Rhodes is amazing. That little lead right there, so awesome. So sexy, man. This track is extremely sensual. It's got an incredible late night vibe to it. No pun intended there, because the track's name is Up Late, but that's exactly what this track feels like, you know? I love that everything about this seems intentional to create that mood, that vibe. You know, the time signature, horns, that little lead playing all those different melodies in the background. Her performance is so soulful, it's so sensual and intimate, and it's just all so very well crafted, very well created and put together. You know, it's a really great late night song. Next track is Shea Butter Baby. You can hear the J. Cole vocals in the background.
It crossed my mind 1,000
Okay, yeah, so this is an okay song. You know, I'm not mad at it. I do think that it's got a really cool Latin vibe because of the guitar, because of the actual drum pattern. I think J. Cole does his thing on this. You know, it's not a bad verse from him. I like the flow, you know, and he keeps it very interesting, very fresh. It's a really short verse, if I'm being honest. The track actually is pretty short. Ari does her thing. Her voice is tremendous, really, and her performance is very good. You know, it says here that this is part of the Creed 2 soundtrack, which is probably why I haven't heard it before, because I didn't listen to that soundtrack or watch the movie. But yeah, it definitely feels like it doesn't fit in extremely well with the rest of this project, you know, because of this vibe. The style is just a hard left from everything that we've gotten so far on this project. So listening to the rest of this will let me know how it actually fits in with the rest of her project. But for right now, this track is just okay. I don't really see myself coming back to it too much. Nothing about it really stood out to me as great. You know, this is just okay. I'm not mad at it. The next track is Speak to Me. Yeah.
But you keep calling me up. I don't wanna waste your time. Oh, don't you waste my time.
That sound in the background sounds like someone hitting a metal tray. Sounds really cool.
Confess, you lied to me. I do something.
It's got a really cool vibe to it. It's just got a really smooth feeling to it. You know, her vocals are like butter, man. Really, you know, it kind of had me zoning out. Kind of had me thinking about life. Really, you know, it's got a really cool, groovy vibe to it. The bass line is everything on this track. There was that really creative sound. It really sounds like someone is in the background hitting like a metal sheet or a metal tray. It sounded really creative. It definitely didn't sound out of place, although it was a very weird sound. It was a cool touch to this track. I think that this is cool. I like it. Next song is New Apartment.
I'm gonna leave the floor where walk around this beach. I will high in the sky. There's nobody here.
There's a lot of freedom she's talking about.
I just got a new apartment. I'm gonna leave the floor, baby. Gasolina, El Toro, Araujo, and everything stays. We got afraid of the dark. Change my heart. Baby, get off my apartment now. Get off my apartment.
This is a really cool song, man. She's talking about that freedom that she finally has. She just got herself a new apartment. The furniture hasn't even arrived yet. The entire apartment's empty. She can walk around naked. There's nobody cooking if she isn't. She can leave the dishes in the sink because everything in there is hers. She created the rules. She's not afraid of the dark anymore because she has to pay the light bill, and that changed her heart because now she realizes she is responsible for every single thing that goes on in that apartment, and she's celebrating the freedom that having that independence brings. But at the end, she starts talking about how she's lonely and how she feels like the furniture that she's got and the apartment that she's got feels too empty, and that she needs people because at the end of the day, your furniture is not going to hold you or keep you warm. And so we get the song that celebrates the freedom and independence of being able to do things yourself, and at the end, the reflection talking about how although you can do things yourself, she doesn't necessarily want to because now she feels lonely. I think that it's an awesome song. It feels great. You know, it's funny. The lyrics are funny, but the instrumentals are really smooth. They're really wavy. Very fun to listen to. You know, very groovy. It's probably a really fun track to dance with someone else too. I really enjoyed that song. Next track is FaceTime. That's so dope. Yeah, man, this one's like a really cool interlude almost. It's really short. It's got a really cool vibe to it. I love that little doom 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 doom. The little synth playing in the background. It's really creative. I love that the structure to this is just one long verse, you know, and it's really wavy. You know, it's a really cool little interlude. I really enjoy it. And it's cool and relatable, the fact that she's gonna FaceTime the person that she likes later on that day, and she's, you know, excited for it and eager to be able to FaceTime that person. We've all been there. Really cool track, man. Next track is Pop. The chord progression on the guitar is dope.
Will you promise, baby, won't you make a promise that we're gonna be your wife? You really want someone.
Yeah.
Hey, and the alchemist in your crib, smoking on drugs for you tonight. Will you promise, baby, won't you make a promise?
Ah, this is so smooth.
Ain't no baby you love.
Another really short track, really intimate vibe. It's just her and the guitar. The person playing the guitar is absolutely tremendous. I love that chord progression that they played. It's got a really cool, sensual, smooth feel to this track. It's really enjoyable. Next track is I Been.
Forget about you.
Man, her voice is so awesome. She's so likable, you know? So relatable. It's great. I love going from that chest voice to her head voice so effortlessly. Oh, love that. The emotion in her voice. Yeah, man, I love her delivery and her performance on this. First of all, this track's got a really cool lounge music vibe, but secondly, the emotion and the passion in her voice when she's belting, you know, in her chest voice, "You Lie," is just, it's awesome. Her delivery is so awesome. Her performance on this is great. Again, it's really relatable. She's singing about heartbreak, and the spoken outro is tremendous. It sounds really intimate. It sounds like she's talking to us about, you know, the situation that she's going through. Again, it's so relatable. She's such a likable person, you know, and it's a really cool song that a lot of people are going to be feeling, and she gets really real, you know, on that outro. Again, really intimate. And that's just something that's been really enjoyable about this project, is how intimate it feels. You know, it feels like she's talking to each and every single one of us who is listening to the project. Really cool. Track 11 is Whipped Cream.
Having vivid dreams of you blazing through the air on your big bed. Wish I didn't. I've been thinking of you. Some kids how I'm aging, degrading when I give it like on. I've been eating whipped cream, having vivid dreams, shocking and care. Oh, you've been there, surviving. I'm laid on rent. What was I?
Yeah, man, this one's talking about her frustrations with giving all of herself in a relationship and not getting the same thing back. Again, very relatable. It's a situation that a lot of people will have gone through as well. It's delivered to us in a very smooth fashion. You know, her delivery is very laid back. She doesn't hit any notes that are extremely high. It's all very comfortable, very relaxed. The beat is very, very simple. I love that little guitar loop, the little keyboard loop going on. You know, it's all very simple, very relaxing. This is a really enjoyable listen as well. Definitely one of those kick back and relax tracks. I absolutely love vibes like this, and she just delivered really well on this. The last track of this project is Static.
You're in control of. Don't let the stats. How good you're. I know love. Cliche HD. You're perfect for me when you. And it goes strong. One get the job done, baby. You're the one.
I love that drum pattern. I love this song, man. I love the way that it feels when I listen to it. The horns behind her vocals are so emphatic. You know, the drum pattern is really groovy. It's different. The snare hits right before it's actually supposed to on the fourth beat. I think that is a really nice touch. It gives a little bit of swing to this track, you know. The guitars, the bass line, it's all so groovy. It's all so wavy. It's a really nice love song. She's talking about what this person means to her. You know, it's really sweet. It's touching. I've really enjoyed that. I feel like it was a really cool, smooth way to end this project. You know, it definitely fits. So with that being said, let's talk about this project now. So Shea Butter Baby by Ari Lennox is absolutely a very, very fun project to listen to. It's very intimate. It feels like, well, it doesn't actually feel like it is what it is. It's very intimate. She's talking to every single person who's listening to her project. On the first track, towards the end, she says, everybody who doesn't really want to know me and who doesn't really want to be my friend, get out, because it's about to get real. I'm about to talk about insecurities. I'm about to talk about what I like in my relationships. I'm about to talk about sensuality. I'm about to talk about a lot of things that's going to get really freaky, and if you don't want to get to know me, then get out. And she says that from the first track. And towards the ends of a lot of these songs, we hear her speaking to the actual listener and telling us about herself, about how she thinks, how she feels, the way that she processes different things in her relationships, not just with other men, but with her family, with her friends, with people around her, the way that she feels when she's by herself, her loneliness. She gets very intimate about on this project, and I think that it's really cool. She comes off as a very likable person, as somebody who is extremely relatable, although she is a musical artist who is signed to Dreamville. It almost sounds like she's somebody that you've known for a very long time, who's just venting to you about things that are going on in her life. It's really interesting to listen to. In terms of the production on this project, it's all very groovy, very soulful, you know, very reminiscent of older soul sounds, old school 90s R&B. You know, it sounds very, very warm, comforting to listen to. Her voice, her vocal performance is spot on. It's very, very nice and sweet to listen to. You know, she's got a tremendous voice, very nice delivery on all of these songs. The only track that felt a little out of place was the J. Cole track, and I'm not even mad at that, because that was part of a movie soundtrack that she just decided to put on the album, but it wasn't made originally, I think, for the project. Even the album, even the artwork for that song is different. You know, so I'm not mad that that feels a little out of place, because it wasn't made in the same vein as all the other tracks. That's really one of the only negative things I have to say about this project. It's not long. All the tracks are very enjoyable to listen to. They're very concise. Her message comes across. Her feelings come across. You know, she doesn't come across as trying too hard to be relatable. She just is. You know, she's genuine. She's herself, and she's a very lovable person. Very, very likable person on this project. It was really enjoyable to listen to. I would hope that you would all go and stream this or buy this if you would feel like it. You know, it's got tremendous music on it. It's also got very feel-good vibes to it, kick back and relax vibes to it. You know, it's tremendous musically, but it's also tremendous from an artistic standpoint of her getting her message across and being herself and putting herself into music. You know, it's tremendous. It's a really great, awesome work of art. I loved it. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know what you think in the comments section. Let me know how you're feeling about Ari Lennox in the comments section as well. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel. Help me get to 10,000 subscribers. We're so close. Also consider supporting this channel on Patreon, because by supporting the channel, you're not only supporting me, but supporting all of the up-and-coming artists that I showcase on series like Putting Y'all On, which is one of the reasons that I started this channel in the first place, was to give myself a platform and all you guys a platform as well to get some recognition. So with all that being said, I hope you all enjoyed. I'll be back in another video very soon. Until then, stay safe. Peace.